Hi dolls, happy holidays. I just did this fun winter wonderland holiday look with a bold lip. So if you want to learn how to get this look for the holiday season, please follow along. The first thing I do before any makeup look is start off with my Perfect Pout lip therapy treatment. This just helps keep my lips nourished throughout the whole makeup process. And then when I'm ready to put on my lipstick, my lips are just nice and smooth and hydrated. Then I'm going to use the TCE Luminous Under Eye Corrector. I like to use this first because I like to give it a chance to dry down before I apply my concealer on top. I'm going to use this flat brush from the Jen Phelps brush collection. And I'm just going to dip in there and add a little bit where I really want to color correct and brighten up my eyes. And as you can see, it is in the hollowness of my under eyes. So I will just apply that with a brush just like this. And then using just my fingers, I will blend that out under my eyes. I love this so much because it just color corrects all that blueness under my eyes and it prevents me from having to wear even more concealer. So this is just a perfect base to put your concealer on. So as you can see, I'm already so bright, solar color corrected, but we're not going to stop just there. I already set my brow using our clear brow gel, but now I am going to use our Brow Remedy pomade to just fill in the spots that you can see I clearly have a little bit of missing hair. I'm going to use our brow definer brush and dip into this pomade and just create hair-like strokes throughout my brows where you can see I have like the little missing spots. So just like a little flick of the wrist, creating those brow hairs. This product is so easy and creamy that you can literally fill in your brows in like 30 seconds. And this formula is so easy to use. It's nice and rich and pigmented. And it still lets your brows look like hair without being too filled in. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish up my brows and I'll be right back. Now my brows are nice and snatched. I am going to use our brand new liquid filter. I love this product so much because it is like a primer and your coverage all in one. This formula is so moussey and bouncy like. I will just do a few pumps on my face just like that. And using the foundation brush in the brush collection, I'm just going to buff this into my face all over. And as you can see, it helps color correct all of the redness that I have going on in my skin. And it will also help cover up the little acne breakouts that I've been having. This formula is so lightweight on the skin. It doesn't even feel like you're wearing any makeup. You can wear this underneath foundation as well. So this can just be your color correction and your primer. But if you feel like this is giving you enough coverage, you can stop here. That is pretty much what I'm going to do. I feel like this is definitely covering the redness and all of the discoloration on my skin well enough that I really don't need to go on top with any more coverage. But if you would like, you could always go on top with another foundation. But as you can see, now I am nice and blurred and filtered. I color corrected all the redness, covered up anything that I wanted it to cover up. And just with a few taps, it blends into the skin so nicely. And it doesn't even feel like I'm wearing anything on my face. For just a little bit more coverage under my eyes, I am going to use the This Covers Everything Super Coverage Concealer, also known as TCE Concealer. It has this really cooling tip, and that's what I'm going to use to apply it. I am almost out of this tube. I'm going to have to grab a new one. So I'm just going to squeeze out some product and just apply it where I think I need just a little bit more coverage. Cover up a few bit more of those acne scars that I have going on. And also to prep my eyelids, I'm going to put a little bit on my eyes just to prep them for my eyeshadow application. To buff this out, I'm going to use our Perfecting Concealer brush. I love this brush so much because you're able to control your concealer more and it gives you just like that flawless filter effect, and it blends out so quick, as you can see in like real time. It doesn't take a lot of effort to blend out your concealer. I love this concealer because it just covers up that blueness and the hollowness that I really don't like in my eyes. So just with a few swipes, you can see that I am now fully covered under the under eye and on my lid. And I will also use this too to gently pat out that concealer where I have those acne marks. Now that I have my full liquid complexion done, I'm going to set the face using our Pink Power Brightening Powder. I love to use a little bit of this under the eyes just to help with the creasing and the movement of the concealer. So I will bend my head down a little bit and look up, and I use this tapering brush that fits really nicely underneath the eyes. And I will also set my lids as well to help with the creasing even more. Then I will also just take a little bit of this powder and I will focus right on the T-zone area where I get a little bit oily, just to help with the oil control throughout the day. Now to set the rest of the face, I'm going to use our Pressed Perfecting Powder. This powder just adds a touch more coverage, a little bit more of that blurring effect, and it also just helps keep that liquid filter in place throughout the whole day. And as you all know, I am such an oily person, so it also helps with even more oil control. You can also use a lighter shade of this powder with a dry sponge to brighten up the under eye a little bit more and also just help set that under eye. So as you can see, like right away, how much brighter the under eye looks. And then it will also help your concealer from creasing. I have found this to be my new favorite technique, and I've been doing it so much. It just really blurs out that under eye and makes like creases completely disappear. Now what I want to do is contour and bronze up the face just a little bit. What I've been doing these days is taking my Afterglow palette and not really contouring, but just really focusing the bronzer on the top of my cheekbones, and it just will set right where I kind of really want it to give my face a little bit more dimension. So I will focus it here on the cheekbones, right underneath my jawline, and also a little bit on the forehead. So you can already see instantly the more dimension that I have on this side of my face compared to this side of my face. I just love the way that this bronzer look just really helps carve out those cheekbones. So I'm going ahead and do this on the other side of my face, and just really take your time with this. Just blend it as much as you can into the rest of the face, and just in swirling motions. Don't be too rough with yourself. Using that same bronzer shade and just an eyeshadow brush, I'm going to take that color and just bring it down the bridge of my nose to help contour out my nose a little bit. Again, this is just adding warmth to the nose and giving a little bit of shape. Don't be too precise with it. Just going down the bridge, and as you can see, it just gives my nose a little bit of shape, a little bit more thinner. And I will even bring that shade up into the brow bone. Now for my blush, as you can see, this is a very used blush of mine. I'm going to take the multi-sculpt brush and just dab right into this. This is a cream formula, but it goes on top of powder so nicely. It just blends into the skin and it just gives you that flush of color. The thing I love most about this formula is that it is very buildable, so don't be scared of the fact that it is liquid. You can add or you can also take away as much as you want. I'm going to focus this right on top of the brow bone, a little bit higher than where I applied my bronzer. So this just brings life back into the skin. It just brings a little bit of glow, and this is using the shade Crimson Flush. On top of that blush, I am going to use the blush shade in that Refocus Afterglow palette just a little bit because this does have a little bit of reflect. I'm going to use this blush shade right on top to set that blush, and it will just give me a little bit of highlight and a little bit more flush of color. One little trick that I've been liking is taking the pink powder and blending the blush into my under eyes using that pink powder. It just helps create a little bit more of a seamless transition from your blush to your under eye. So as you can see, it's not as harsh anymore from like blush to highlight. So this is just like a little hack that I've been doing recently. And I just feel like it helps bring the makeup together even more. So you can see right away the blush just blends so nicely into that concealer. Now using the Doll Squad 2.0 palette, I am going to use this shade right here as my transition shade and just focus it right on the upper crease area and just blend that also into the bronzer that I put right underneath the brow bone. And this will just help create that transition shade before we add any dimension. One thing that I've also been liking is just fanning that out to help lift up my eye a little bit. So I will actually take the eyeshadow and just bring it into my brow and just really help lift up my brow. Using my finger, I'm going to take this champagne-y color and pack that all over the lid. You can see right away how pigmented this shade is. And I just really want this look to be like nice and winter wonderlandy and like nice and bright for my eyes. So I will also bring that up here as well. And to help brighten up the eye even more, you can focus it right on that tear duct area. Now that my eyes are nice and bright and sparkly like the snow, I'm going to add a little bit more dimension using a darker eyeshadow shade. So I'm going to take this brown shade right here with the angled brush from our holiday collection. And I'm just going to create a little bit of a smoky wing using that brush and bring it down a little bit onto the lower lash line and just create a wing, and then also following that on the upper lash. So this will help just lift up the eye even more and create like that winged out effect. If you wanted to bring this look up just a notch, you could also use fake lashes. These are me and Doris's favorite lashes of all time. It's the Ardell Naked Lash. Okay, now that the lashes are done, the last step is lips. So I'm just going to take a paper towel and just wipe off any of the excess lip treatment that I have sitting on there. And since my eyes are a little bit more on the neutral side, I wanted to give my lips a little bit of pop of color. So I'm going to use the Doll Pro Lip Lock in the shade Date Night. This is a little bit more of a berry red shade. And as you can see right away, it just kicks up that holiday glam. This is a matte formula, but it's not too dry. It still is like a little bit more of a velvety formula, I would say. But just to add a little bit of gloss, I'm going to use the Butter Bomb Lip Tint. This is also in the shade Passion, so it matches Date Night perfectly. And as you can see, it gives just a little bit of shine to that lipstick. I love this lip look just because it helps kick up the makeup look just a little bit. And now you have like those holiday red lips. And also another perk is that it makes your teeth look nice and white. And that is it. A fun, easy holiday winter wonderland glam look. Obviously, the lips are optional if you want to go this bold for the holiday season. A neutral lip would look just as great with this look. But I hope you enjoyed, and let me know if there's any other looks that you want me to do. Thanks. Bye, dolls.